stem cells in the body, they are located in the fat cells around in the blood cells. They have the ability to transform into a nerve cell, a bone cell, a cartilage cell, a heart cell. They have retained that flexibility. They also tend to stimulate the cells that are already working, but they are activated. So stem cells go in and create better conditions of the cellular workup and the cellular makeup of the individual that receives them.
Every day, millions of Americans are diagnosed with fatal and nearly uncurable diseases and illnesses. In 2016, cancer alone accounted for 1,700,000 new cases, and an estimated 600,000 people would die from this disease that year. In the same year, 20,000 people will be diagnosed with brain and spinal tumors, and another 60,000 would be diagnosed with Parkinson's disease, all in the same year. Now imagine a world where we can prevent these and all other terminal illnesses, and even cure the people currently being affected. Stem cell research is a modern scientific marvel that has not yet been tapped to its full potential. Already, just researching the way that stem cells communicate alone is showing how some of these illnesses originate and can be used to prevent them from ever happening in future cases. If we researched further and invested more money and more of our resources into stem cells, we may one day be able to prevent and cure every current and maybe even future diseases.
How quickly do they see a result?
The stem cells will produce a result first couple of weeks. Then there's a gradual and a continual improvement over that time as these cells kind of get to work. It is not a complete cure, but it is a prolonged improvement.
Adult stem cells are stem cells present in any living organism. So in a baby that is 1 minute old, the stem cells are referred to as adult stem cells. Umbilical cord stem cells are adult stem cells. Placenta stem cells are also adult stem cells. Their primary source is the bone marrow. From the bone marrow, they can go in the blood. From the blood, they can go to various tissues. So we can extract them from the bone marrow, from the blood, or from the skin, lipid tissue, the dental pulp. Many places in the body we can find adult stem cells. Traditionally, adult stem cells from the bone marrow are known to be precursors to blood cells. They become red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets, lymphocytes, various types of blood cells in connective tissue, some bones, but that's their limitation. They really cannot become anything else. That's the traditional knowledge about bone marrow stem cells. What has been discovered a few years ago, which is probably one of the biggest discoveries of our time, is that bone marrow stem cells do indeed become blood cells, but also have the ability of becoming virtually any kind of cell types in the body. If we take an adult stem cells, put it in the liver, they become liver cells. If we put them in the brain, they become brain cells. If we put them in the heart, they become heart cells. And so on and so forth for virtually any kind of tissues of the body. Anytime a tissue has a problem, a big problem or a small problem, we're talking here of a cut, a small degenerative problem, or a heart attack, a stroke, a bone fracture, a burn of the skin. If there is a problem, the tissue that has the problem will release very specific compounds that have been well defined that will go to the bone marrow, trigger the release of stem cells from the bone marrow. The number of stem cells in the blood will increase. Now, the tissue that is affected is also going to secrete other compounds that will attract stem cells. As the stem cells circulate in the capillaries of the affected tissue, and these compounds are being secreted, they attract the stem cells and they migrate across the capillary wall in the tissue. When they arrive in the tissue, they proliferate and they become cells of that tissue. This is our natural renewal system, our natural repair system. In all this process, we need stem cells to be released from the bone marrow, to circulate in the blood, to migrate in a tissue or be recruited by a tissue, then to proliferate and to differentiate in cells of that tissue. Of these 5 steps, the one that has been shown and documented as the most important is the number of circulating stem cells. More stem cells circulating in the bloodstream means that more stem cells are available to migrate in the various tissues, and henceforth we have a more effective repair system in the body. So anything that we can do that will enhance or increase the number of circulating stem cells will end up being good for health.